Okay.
So Mark, why don't you go ahead and mute, Kyle, and mute until we'll all mute until we're on.
As folks are logging in and joining us, I'll just let you know that we're so happy you're here. I'm Jana with the Northwest Cider Association. We have an awesome, amazing, astounding, marvelous program for you. We've got 90 minutes of fun with the cider makers. We get to do a little virtual festival. So if you're missing in-person festivals, we've got you covered. We're gonna have some fun tasting some cider and doing a lot more. We're gonna get to know the cider makers and some behind the scenes with them. We've got some great music that's gonna roll us in. We're gonna get some introductions. We've got Alan, founder of Cider Summit. He's gonna say some words, but before we do that, I just wanna let you know that I'm gonna start out the chat. I'm gonna welcome everybody here as you're logging in. If you wanna say hello and introduce yourself, let us know where you're from. If you love drinking cider, if you're a cider curious, cider expert, feel free to just kind of let us know what's going on with you. And MJ, if you are willing, you can play us some music to kind of start us off. I don't know if we got the audio. I'm not hearing it. Maybe, is it just me? You might be. There she is. See lights. You know I won't be feeling good till I get you in my arms tonight. All right. Thank you so much for that musical interlude. We're started off here with a little music from Ellen Whyte and the trio Ellen, Jean, and Jean. I am going to kind of let you know how we're going to run our process. I'm loving that we're seeing a few folks here. Ross and Jamie, thanks for tuning in outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We do have an order to our cider panelists. Kelly, and I'm gonna kind of surprise you along the way. I'll let you know as we kind of get to each one of them. I do want to let you know that this chat feature will be live, and this is a great way to interact with the panelists. If you have questions for the cider makers as we're going, feel free to type them in here. If you just want to get to know one another or share something that you're enjoying drinking, feel free to type in here, and we'll keep an eye on that. So we'll make sure that if you have anything that you want to ask, we'll get that addressed. And we're going to give each cider maker about 5 minutes. So we're going to move pretty quickly through. We've got a lot of great ciders, and we aren't going to just ask them about tasting notes. Some of them will talk about the tasting notes, but I do want to let you know that the tasting notes are on the website. I'll pop that into the chat for Cider Summit. So if you want to look at all the tasting notes, that's a great place to download it. But when you go to a cider festival, a lot of times, what a lot of us enjoy is interacting socially with one another. It's the human connection. It's getting to see the people, chatting with people about other things besides just the cider. We obviously love the cider. That's what kind of brings us together, but there's so much more. So we thought it'd be really fun to kind of change it up, shift things a little bit, and make a connection to humans. And so we've asked people to do something a little bit different this time. We've asked them to tell a joke, to tell us a story, to demonstrate something, just to kind of move outside of the wheelhouse of just ciders so that you can get to know them a little bit more as people. So please feel free, again, to keep interacting in that chat feature. Let us know, what you're drinking. Let us know what questions you might have about their ciders or their cideries. We'll be happy to make sure that we get those addressed. Hopefully you enjoy a little bit of a different style presentation. We're really glad you're here. We're doing this all 100% live. We've got a little bit of pre-recorded music, but we're kind of being really authentic and in the moment. So I hope that that is going to be a fit for you and that you enjoy it. Thanks again for being here. I'm going to queue up our fearless leader, Alan Shapiro. Hi, Alan. How are you?
Hey, Jana, I am good. Thank you again for hosting this, and MJ and all the team at Northwest Cider Association who have been great partners with us at Cider Summit for all of these years, 10 plus now. For those of you that came to pick up your kids earlier, you may not recognize me, so that's me also. I want to thank all the cider makers for participating with us tonight. Jana may have mentioned, and those of you that have tuned in will notice that not every cider maker that was in all three kits that we offered was able to join us tonight. So we have a mix kind of across the board of cider makers from all of them. The tasting notes on all the ciders are available on via download. Those links are on the Cider Summit Portland main page, so cidersummit.com. And click on Portland and you will see the download links right at the top of that page if you want to check those out while you're tasting. And thanks to all of you that purchased the kits. 2020 would have been our 10th annual live festival this past June. So that's a milestone we would have loved to have celebrated in person, of course, with all of you. It's our team produces these festivals in 4 cities, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and Chicago. And Portland has always been my favorite festival of the 4 that we do, because I love the great site that we have in the Pearl with the mix of new construction and the old cider mills. It's a spacious park. And we have, from year 1 in Portland, tried to have really good music at that event too. One of our beneficiaries besides Northwest Cider Association is the Cascade Blues Association. And we got involved with them because another good friend of mine named Jim Miller was very active in the Portland music scene for years, and he kind of booked our music. And we have always had a few festival favorites. And so Ellen, who you hopefully heard, I know it was kind of mixed on that open, has been with us at least 4 times over the previous 9 years. She's one of the few local Grammy nominated artists. And kind of personal note with it is during the festivals, I'm just running around like a madman and not rarely getting a chance to take a sip of cider or visit too much. And the first time she played our event, it actually made me stop because there was a sound that I had never heard coming from our festival stage before. And so she is an extremely talented lady, was very gracious, did a little pre-recorded announcement for us, and was nice enough to offer her music to be part of tonight's event. So I will shut up in a moment. I will just also say that typically before we open each festival, I gather the cider makers around the stage and tell them all the rules and all the things they're not supposed to do, like the high school principal I've often accused of being. And then we celebrate with a pre-opening toast. So we will, in just about all of your kits, except the import, was the Virtue Cider Salute. Try to get that right. So every year, or not every, for the last 4 years, we have done collaboration ciders with different producers around the country. The first 3 were with Northwest producers, Finn River, Tieton, and Seattle Cider. And then the people in the rest of the country started getting angry with me. So we included Virtue as they were distributed in all of our markets. And so they did a special blend for us with cider that had been in barrel for about a year and on French oak, and then freshly pressed cider that they blended last year. So this was blended last fall for us. So kind of a little drier, elegant, almost brut champagne style. But I want to welcome all the cider makers, all the attendees, and thank you for joining us tonight, and have a great evening. Cheers.
Okay, cheers. Thanks so much. Thanks for getting us started, Alan. This is absolutely how it starts in person. It's always with this cheers, and many of us who have been lucky enough to be on the serving side of Cider Summit for years have just really loved that celebration. It is a moment of community. It's something that we all kind of look forward to. I'm just staying tuned to the chat here, and I do want to let you know, I popped on to the Cider Summit site, and I just tried to download those again. I did it right before we opened, and I'm getting some success, so maybe give it another try if you have the spinning wheel. I did see that. Maybe someone else on our team could kind of take a quick peek and see if they're getting it too. Possibly we could email them to you too if that's not working out for you. I did go ahead and give you the lineup in case you're waiting to taste. I know people want to taste in order. We're so diligent about trying to taste sometimes, drier to more robust, or lighter to, heavier. And there's a lot of different things happening with regard to what we have in the different boxes. So we didn't necessarily queue it up as exclusively one cider after another. So it is something that you should kind of do a little bit of your own adventuring, but if you want to taste along with the cider makers, I did put in the order. And without further ado, we will get started with our very first cidery. We are really excited to be joined all the way from beautiful British Columbia. Kyla is here from Sea Cider. Many of you might be really familiar with their fantastic ciders. And Kyla, do you want to unmute yourself? How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in with us today. Many of us are really familiar with your ciders, and you've got something really fun in this box right now.
Yeah, thank you. Well, why have one bottle when you can have two? So we've got fun classic bottles in our import box. Yeah, so I'm Kyla. I'm from Sea Cider Farms. As Jana mentioned, we're from BC, Canada. So Pacific Northwest. The last time I saw many of you, and hopefully we'll see you again soon, was at the Chicago Cider Fest, way on the East Coast. But now we're here doing things a little differently. So thank you all for joining us. I know it's a crazy time, so I hope you're all doing well and taking care and staying safe. So I'll start off with one of the first ciders that we've got in the import box, and it's our Kings and Spies. So not sure who has what right now, but the Kings and Spies is actually my favorite cider in our lineup. It's an off-dry Italian Prosecco style cider. Very classic. It's found kind of in all the regions that we retail. So Chicago, you'll find it in Illinois, you'll find it in Washington, you'll also find it in Oregon. Press Them Press. I saw Chris, he joined us as well today. He's got an online store that's selling our products too. And they ship to 49 out of 50 states, which is awesome. Yeah, super easy drinking cider. So I hope you all enjoy it. I also hope it's not the first cider that you had today. It is 6:14 here. So yeah, and then the next one actually is an awesome fall seasonal. So this is our Witch's Broom. Maybe a fun gift for somebody you may not like so much if you want to tell them something secretive. Fall cider, it's spiced, it smells and tastes like apple pie. So it's that perfect transition from summer to fall. We release it around harvest season. You get nice notes of cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, all those really classic fall spice flavor profiles. Really nice as well as a mulled cider. So I personally like to heat it up. Make sure you go low and slow so you're not boiling off that alcohol. But yeah, and thanks Sarah for the shout out on the Kings and Spies. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'll leave it to questions if anybody has anything. I know I'm gonna wrap it up pretty quickly here so we can get on to the next cider maker. But anyone in the comments or the chats have any questions they want to ask me really quickly?
I wanted to ask you if you did have a joke. You didn't have any? Because I love jokes.
Crazy. I mean, one thing we always say at the cider house is an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but it's really and truly a cider a day.
Yeah.
So during these times. But yeah, I was working on jokes and then testing them out on my partner, and he's like, "You're not funny at all." So I spare myself the embarrassment here.
You know, humor is so subjective. Well, you're brave to get out there. Lisa did wonder what the name of your first cider was again. Will you recap that?
Of course, it is our Kings and Spies. It's made from Kingston Black and Northern Spy apples. Sits at a nice 8% alcohol content there. Yeah, off dry, easy drinking Prosecco style.
And folks might be tuning in from across the country and from beyond. And you guys everything's online for you now, right? So we can order cider from you online.
From us, yeah. So you can't actually order directly from the cider house. There's some legalities in shipping from Canada to the U.S. That being said, I did mention that Press Them Press is an online retailer that's selling awesome ciders. They sell our lineup. They ship to 49 out of 50 states, and the website's just www.pressthempress.com.
Great.
So,
we'll pop that in the chat too. I know thanks, Chris. We see you that you were here. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, good call. This is the time of getting creative, right? Innovative, getting, trying to find new ways to connect. So thank you so much for taking the time out and connecting with us, and for all of your work in cider. You've been such a great ambassador, and thank you for tuning in. Yes.
Having me and joining us. Take care.
Yeah, awesome. Well, speaking of going abroad, Mark, so MJ just messaged me on the side that it's 3 a.m. in Normandy. I didn't really think about it. You're courageous in joining us at this time, and thank you so much. You just woke up. Perfect. With a glass of cider.
Oh.
What? Oh, Calvados. Oh, you're just going for it. Will you introduce yourself and let us know, what?
Hello.
Cider you have and where you're from, and share. Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Just want to say something before we start.
Please.
Alan, you did not respect the rule because you had your testing behind the table. You should be in front of the table. I remember the rules. You don't.
The tasting is always in front of the table. Just then you have to stand behind the table as well. Yeah,
Yeah, so as I said before we start this virtual thing, first of all, bonjour tout le monde. Hi everybody, I'm very happy that I see that now everywhere in America, there is some ciders. I love it because as a French person, and especially from Normandy, cider is my blood, is in my blood. So I am so happy. You know, when I arrived in America 22 years ago, I went to buy some cider at the supermarket, and I came back home with a plastic bottle saying apple cider. I was so happy I found cider. When I tasted that, I said, what is that? That's America? That's McDonald's? So now I'm very happy I can drink some very good American cider. Okay, so I have been on the market now in America for maybe 20 years. I had some little issues last year because my importer was Venom Importing closed. So I had to find another importer. So it's coming back. My business is coming back a little bit, but it's very hard with this COVID situation. So we make some apple cider, pear cider on a rosé. All our ciders are made with, we don't add any sugar, we don't add any yeast. It's a natural carbonation. We don't add any, as I always say, I am sorry to say that, but I say that like I think it. we don't add any shit, nothing. When you drink a glass of our cider, it's a glass of Mother Nature's. Our ciders are made like they used to be made in the 9th century. The only difference now is that, you know, for the food regulation, it has to be filtered, pasteurized, whatever, but it's made exactly the same way as it used to be in the 9th century. We press the food, we got the juice, we put the juice in a huge tank, or for the apple, huge oak barrels. When we weight the level of sugar, when we think the fermentation is the right level, we close the tank, and that's it. We don't add anything. It's Mother Nature's which does its job. This is how we make cider. Okay? So, would you like me to tell you a joke? Because I know we have only 5 minutes.
Yes, please tell us a joke.
Okay, so as I told, cider is in my blood. When I was 8 years old, my brother was 5 at this time. My uncle, because we were going to my uncle's farm to make some cider, asked my brother and I to go inside the 13,000 oak liter barrels, which is 3,400 gallons, you know, these big barrels. He asked us to go inside by the bottom of it to clean the barrels. So my brother and I, we get inside and we clean for maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour. When we get out, I was drunk. And my brother also, 8 years old and 5 years old. My parents are still in prison.
You're hilarious.
Imagine that. That was the first time I was drunk and I did not drink anything.
Is the caveat that this might be true or untrue?
Yeah,
we never know.
Yeah. Okay, that was a good one, isn't it? Okay, so I think I had my 5 minutes. I want to thank you, everybody.
Very good. Thank you.
Alan,
Mark.
Alan, thank you so much for what you did to promote the cider all over this country. This guy is unbelievable. And thank you so much for the Northwest Cider Association. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Et comme on dit, as we said in France, je vous aime. I love you all.
Merci. Merci beaucoup, Mark. Thank you. Thanks for such a great story and for being so flexible and starting your day with Calvados with us very early. It's a good start, I think. We now get to journey right into the heart of Portland in the northeast Portland. We are joined by Aiden of Swift, and it sounds like there was actually like maybe a pretty lively adventure going on there. I don't know, are there people in your tasting room where you're in the back? You have the really cool microphone.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely lots of cool things here, including this microphone, but mostly people that are probably familiar to Cider Summit goers from years past. We have Gemma, who's working the tap room right now, and a couple other cider makers from various other people hanging out on the patio. So you can't really see that behind me because I have my mask off and I'm being good and trying to stay away from everybody. So yeah, but you can see right behind us where we make our cider at Swift Cider. And I think you can see those big tanks right back there. Whoop. Uh-oh. Well, I'm not sure if you guys can still hear me right now, but all right, you guys can still hear me. So I think Jana had asked me to play a little music. So I'm going to play you guys a little song. And then if you have any cider questions, I love to talk about cider. So send me some chat messages and, you know, see if you can stump me on a cider question or something like that. So This is an old timey song that people play. You know, it's kind of about infidelity, but I think infidelity is a good thing in the cider world. You should try other people's stuff. It's a good thing. So get out there, and even though you can't go visit everyone, like I'm stoked to be able to see all these friendly faces. So here you go. This one goes out to you guys. Make me down a pallet on your floor. Won't you make me down a pallet on your floor? Won't you make me down a pallet soft and low? Won't you make me down a pallet on your floor? The way I've been sleeping, my back and shoulders are tired. The way I've been sleeping, my back and shoulders are tired. Oh, the way I've been sleeping, my back and shoulders are tired. I think I'm gonna roll around and try my other side. Well, you make me down a pallet on your floor. Make me down a pallet on your floor. Won't you make me down a pallet soft and low? Won't you make me down a pallet on your floor? Headed up country where it's cold, sleet and snow. Yes, I'm headed up country where it's cold, sleet and snow. Oh, I'm headed up to that country where it's cold, sleet and snow. They ain't telling how far I might go. Hey, cheers, everyone.
Fantastic. Cheers. You're a man of many talents.
Yeah, well, you know, like cider and art go beautifully together, just like food and all the other good drinkable things. So, you know, spread the love around, and so glad to see everybody's face today. So.
And thank you so much. You played an amazing song for us last time that we did a virtual event, and it was a different song, and this one was just as magical. Since you are in the tap room, will you just give us the 411 if people want to come down there? Are there certain hours? Should they just check on the website just so we make sure we're operating safely but also supporting you?
Yeah, absolutely. We got social distance service and lots of space. Luckily, we have a big property with outdoor covered seating. Hours are Thursday through Saturday, about 3 o'clock to 8-ish right now. And we're working on some special pop-up food and cider pairing events. So if you like good food and you like good cider, check out our Instagram, and we'll be doing some video posts about that very soon, because we haven't done any events all summer. We've been participating in these cider summits, and it's been really cool to see how it can work. So thanks, Alan, for like showing us the way, and we're gonna try and copy and paste a little bit where we can.
So great. Thank you for that. Folks, I do want to move on, but I do have a question for you. Kelly, I can answer. The RS stands for residual sugar. So that just gives you a percentage of that. But Lisa's wondering, Aiden, if your cider tanks have names. So we just have to ask that. That's a good
they
one.
all have names. They're all named after people that have inspired us along the way. And I can give you a couple names. I'll give you one just because you asked.
Yeah, because you're doing the short version. I'm with you.
Yeah, so we actually have one called Dirty, which is named after my dad, because we like to call him Old Dirty Bastard. So, and it's an endearing term of love. So don't worry, we love him.
All right. Well, you and Dirty look like you're going to be set there for the evening. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Thank you.
Cheers, everybody.
Again. Alan, obviously, cheers. Alan, obviously, we all so appreciate you creating the opportunity for us to keep doing this work together. So I guess that's the thread, that's a through line. So thank you for that.
And you too, Jana. You're awesome.
All right. Well, Yeah, sorry, I'm just popping in and out of my phone and my other devices, but I'm here. I'm in it. You know, internet connection. We're giving the internet connection a run for its money these days. So thank you. Okay, well, my job is to try to also keep us on time, so we're going to move right along. Next, we have two towns. Ashley, I want to introduce you as Maid Marian, but maybe I'll let you just kind of pick up. Most people in our region or even beyond probably know Two Towns, who is celebrating a 10-year anniversary. Am I right, Ashley?
Yes. Today was actually
10 years.
The harvest party.
I know.
At least 1,000 people, so we were hoping to get 7,000 this year, 8,000, but it was really fun. We actually got to do our virtual harvest party online a couple hours ago.
So you've already been celebrating 10 years, your big annual harvest party, and you look beautiful in your outfit here. So tell us more.
Okay, so in your box from Two Towns is going to be our Maid Marian. This is one of our very original ciders that we made originally actually as a limited release. We teamed up with a local farm and decided to just pair the two, apple and Marionberry, together. Marionberry, as you know, is the state berry of Oregon. It was created in Oregon and is a hybrid of a blackberry and an alola berry. They are just kind of a little bit juicier and bigger than a normal blackberry. So with this, the farm that we now partner with does, I would say, most of the harvesting of Marionberries out of Oregon. And one thing that I actually learned from this farmer was that they harvest all of their berries primarily at night. So they harvest between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. in order to get the berries without smushing them. Because once they're in the sun, they get a little bit hot and it's kind of hard to pick off the vines. So they typically have to harvest them at night, which makes me so much more grateful for those hardworking farmers giving us these berries to make a great cider. So this Maid Marian is 6% alcohol, 2 pounds per gallon of fresh Marionberries go in this. So quite a bit of Marionberries, as well as our fresh pressed apples. They make just a wonderful pairing. It's nice and semi-sweet with just the lovely tannins from the Marionberries themselves. And my special talent to give, last time I did handstands, this time before my cider life, I was actually an interpreter. So I was an American Sign Language English interpreter for deaf and hard of hearing children. So I thought it would be kind of fun to share some signs with you guys. So the first one is going to be apple. That's obviously important. So you're going to take your index finger and kind of curl it a little bit, and then where a dimple would be, you just kind of twist in. So this would be apple. And then in order to make this into cider, you do apple, drink. So the first sign is going to be apple. The second sign is going to be drink. And that put them together, that means cider. Apple, drink is cider. And then the next one, obviously, Maid Marian, blackberries are pretty important. So for black, you have your index finger straight across to your forehead, black. And then berry, either index or pinky, both mean berry. So blackberry. And then we've got cider. And the next one is going to be two, the number 2, obviously, towns. Last sign is love, and it's usually a kiss fist. That means that you love something. This means love as in like a person. This means kiss fist, I love the cider. So we put it all together. I love Two Towns, Marionberry cider.
That is miraculous. I love that you had a whole life as an interpreter too, Ashley. So many talents. That's really a cool thing. Thank you for sharing that. Am I the only one? I think we all need to do apple cider, right? Right, team? Apple. This is good for us. Cider. That's
Hey, Jana, I'm going to jump in just for a second too, because for anyone that ordered the chocolate add-on to their kits, those chocolates were made with 3 different types of two-town cider. The dark chocolate one was made with the Maid Marian, which just happens to be my favorite of those 3. 1 or 2 kits may have gone missing in my kitchen, you know, but so anyways, the timing was great. That Moonstruck was just releasing that kit in kind of mid-September, and so it was perfect timing for us, and we wanted to make sure that the Maid Marian was included in the kit so people could do that pairing live. So it was a really popular add-on, so I hope all of you out there that ordered it are trying it right now and enjoying.
Yeah, that was a fun extra to get your chocolate and your
Jana, it seems that you're jumping in and out a little bit.
I think that was for the win. Seemed like a lot of. Thank you. Can you hear me better now or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ashley.
We lost you again. What's going on out there where you live, Jana?
The Marion berries in on my phone, so we'll do that instead. Okay. Ashley, if you can look in the chat, you might be able to answer the question. Okay, here we go. Okay.
That is a very good question. I am not sure with the full moon or the new moon. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to ask the Marionberry farmer himself. I'm sure he knows.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Let me see if I can.
There's an important question you have to answer, Jana, from Mark. He wants to know if you paid your internet bill.
Oh yeah, we did for sure. Okay, let me see if this is better. Okay, do you got me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
good. Yeah, I do live rural out in Oregon City, and we do have a big Wi-Fi network, but apparently it's not working right at this moment. So we'll pop over to some other place in Oregon City where it's really exciting and happening. My friend Jeff, who's hanging out at 12 Bridges, he's got this fantastic tap room that is a local hangout, and they are making lots of fun ciders. And they named their cidery 12 Bridges, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about it, as well as maybe some facts about cider that you have. What do you think, Jeff? How are you doing?
Sure. Yeah, I'm doing good, and hopefully everybody can hear me okay. The tap room isn't too crazy yet, so everybody's mainly under control. So yeah, I'm Jeff Jarrett. Thanks for letting me join, and hello everyone. As Jana said, we're in Oregon City. We've been open since June of 2017. We're a fairly small cidery compared to some others. We've got 4 of us employees, well, 4 employees aside from myself. I do have a day job, so I just work a lot in the evenings and the weekends, and it's a lot of fun dealing with freight people. No offense to freight people if they're on here, but when I'm at my day job trying to coordinate freight deliveries. So that's certainly not my special skill, provided I have one. Let's see, I've been, before I opened, so we've been open a little over 3 years. I've been making made cider at home before that. And really it just started because my kids were getting older. We're going to be moving out of the house. And I figured I would be really bored if I was just working my day job and didn't have anything else going on. So I had started drinking cider and figured I would try to make it. And the first batch was terrible, and it kept getting better the more I kept going. So here we are. Let's see. So one thing, so 12 Bridge, I'll say, because everybody's always asking me, you know, what's the meaning of 12 Bridge or what's the significance? So 12 Bridge is really named after the 12 bridges that cross the Willamette in the Portland area, starting with the St. John's all the way through the Selwood. And it's really entertaining to me how people think they have caught me in some sort of lie that there's really only 9 or there's really only 10 or whatever, and then they ask me to recite them. So maybe that is my special skill at this point. And you know, one of the things about our cider, all of our primary ciders that we intend to have year round, or at least throughout the year, we do name those after those 12 bridges. And like today, you guys have the Burnside Fire, and right now we've made, I think 22 or 23 ciders overall since we started. We have named 11 of them after the bridges. The only one we haven't named is the Selwood. And I do have some plans to, I know exactly what I want to do with that one, but I'm not sure. It'll probably be next summer before I ever make it to that. So, but I'm really excited about that one. Let's see.
Are you going to list the bridges? I'm dying to hear the bridges.
I knew somebody would ask me. Yeah. So the 12 bridges are the St. John's, the Burlington Northern Train Bridge, the Fremont, and this goes from the Columbia upriver. So St. John's, Burlington Northern Train Bridge, the Fremont, the Broadway, the Steel Bridge, the Burnside, Morrison, Hawthorne, Killicum, Markham, Ross Island, and Selwood. So there you have it. Let's see. Let me see. I'm just looking at my notes here real quick. I guess I'll start talking about the Burnside Fire. So it is a mango habanero. It's one of the first. We've made a few different spicy ciders since we've started, and I just love spicy ciders. This one, the mango habanero, was the first one, and it's the one we canned and put in package. It's a medium cider, and we like to make it just hot enough to where if you take too big of a sniff on your glass, you're going to probably start coughing. But we don't want to make it so spicy that we're trying to kill you. So we see it. So the Burnside Fire is, there's a lot of people who really love it, and it's selling really well at the various grocery stores we're at. In terms of our distribution, as I said earlier, we're fairly small, but since the pandemic started, we're now in all the market of choices in the state of Oregon. We're at, I think, 13 of the 17 new seasons throughout the Portland area, including Southwest Washington. We also have our we can distribute over into Washington, and right now we're just focused on kind of the lower, kind of the Vancouver, Camas area. And we are self-distributed, so that kind of limits our ability to get out and move. And during the pandemic, we actually spent a lot of time and investment in buying bigger tanks, and so we can start making more and more cider, because I feel like it's moving well. And it was just kind of a good time. Since we didn't have any customers for a few months, it was good to catch up on all of our production kind of to-do lists. So that was, well, it wasn't nice, but it was at least productive. Let's see. I think that covers it. Oh, I guess one thing. So we have, I think we have up to 10 ciders in can. Actually, in a few weeks, we'll have 10 full ciders in cans. This one right here is our seasonal. It's an autumn spice peach. So it's a peach cider with cinnamon and mulling spices. So that one's in a 16-ounce can. And on the seasonals, we do not name them after bridges. I think that's about it.
Jeff, will you mind taking a look in the chat? You got a few questions there. Oh. I do want to say that I'm impressed with your reciting of the 12 bridges. That was fun. Thanks for making
Yeah, let's see. I did not pay Jana's internet bill. Let's see. Do I plan to quit my day job? Wait, is my boss on here? No. Well, so my day job, I manage a IT organization, a healthcare company, and I also manage some of the other business groups in the company. And I do actually really love my day job. It's just an enormous amount of work between the two. So I guess I don't know. I'm just kind of plowing forward and seeing where the future takes me. So I don't really have any solid plans one way or the other. I can say my passion is certainly cider making, and I love doing it. My wife at times wonders where I am, but I do try to make time to find her and hang out with her as much as I can. So she always knows where to find me, though.
You're probably there, or it's dark, but otherwise I would have you walk out and show us Stubbs, which is their delivery van.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, so we just, so we have a 79 Shorty van that we named Stubbs, and it's laid out like a A-team style van, and a lot of people in their, well, especially men in their 35 to 60 love this van, but a lot of women love it too. But then to kind of go along with the overly macho theme, we also name all of our tanks overly macho, obnoxious names. We've got Heisenberg, Mr. T, Hogan, Macho Man, the Dude, Ozzy. So we've got a lot of, that's kind of our. Yeah, I don't know why we do it, but we just do it.
Well, leave it to you and Ryan. So, in the future, we'll have a trivia on who names their tanks what. So, Jeff, and of course they want you to put out some mixed cases. Yeah, Ron's asking, and you should think about that. That seems.
Yeah, I did.
So.
That's right. Yeah, on that, I did. We do that from our tap room. So people who are ordering locally or ordering to pick up, we do mixed 6-packs or mixed 4-packs of the 16 ounce. And yeah, certainly going forward as we get more of our feet under us in terms of a volume standpoint, that's a great idea.
Awesome. Okay, Jeff, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Impressed we could hear you good, and I'm the one who's in and out on my internet, so pay my bill next time. That'll be great. You know where to find me. And we're coming to the end of our first set, so we're going to get queued up for a music break. I just want to recap though how much greatness we've just seen. So we've now learned that Jeff is trying to strike the balance between too much heat, like getting some heat so you feel it and not killing you. So that's good. We've learned ASL for cider drinking from Ashley, which was fantastic. We've got this multi-talented musical escapade from Aiden. Mark is up in the middle of the night telling us great stories about getting drunk as a child, which may or may not be true. We'll just put the caveat, but they're fantastic. And Kyla already had to hop off with us, but was gracious enough to join us. Did not want to tell us a joke, but has great cider. So many good things already in our first chunk. We're going to listen to some music. I'm going to preview for you that we're going to talk with La Familia, Bauman's, Bull Run, and Wildcraft. And we do have a special video queued up for Wildcraft when we get there, and I know that there's something really special coming that is going to even give you a tip to something else later on in the evening. If you're a collector of cider, if you like really special one-off things, there's going to be an option to follow up from our call tonight and hop over to their Instagram and actually do a live auction at 8 o'clock on a really special item. So just stay tuned. My trusty, amazing co-pilot MJ is going to cue us up for some more music from Ellen Whyte and the trio of Gene and Jean, and we want to make sure that we can honor all the people who are working so hard during this time. It's a really tough time for musicians, so we'll pop the Venmo for Ellen Whyte and trio into the chat box. MJ, if you're willing to do that, and then folks can feel free if you want to tip your musician. We've got an exit music with Ellen Whyte and the trio as well, and without further ado, I will stop talking and let us listen to that musical interlude. If you need to get another cider, this is your time. Just saying.
till you give love. There's not a lot that we can do. Love is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. Only you know what I mean. Have your eyes really seen? Say it's very hard to leave behind the life you knew. There's no other way, and now it's really up to you. Love is the key we must turn. Truth is the flame we must burn. Freedom, the lesson we must learn. Only you know what I mean. Have your eyes really seen? The word I have.
Okay. Thank you for the musical interlude. All right, and we are queuing back up to dive in with our cider makers. La Familia, I see that you're here. Are you able to pop in and unmute yourself and hop in and join us? Hi. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Jazz?
Yes, Jazz. Sorry I wasn't on earlier. We got a little rush, and so I had to go and get to work.
That's great. Are you okay to talk with us right now? Is this a good
I'm
talk?
okay. We have someone there that's able to help us out right now. So.
Are you in your tasting room right now?
I'm actually outside. I can give you guys a look. I'm not sure if you're able to see it too well.
Yeah.
This one right here is ours, and yeah, I would take you guys inside, but it's pretty loud with the music and all. But
yeah, what you're down in you're in Salem, Oregon.
Yeah, down in Salem. Yeah, we're right in the middle of downtown Salem. We're connected to Azul's Taco House, where they have all the food. We're right next to Riverfront, which is a great location because people like to come straight from after a workout or after hanging out at the park, and they just come by and have a drink. But yeah, I am Jazz from La Familia. We want to thank you guys all for the support and the community support. So we all started with my dad and my stepmom wanting to create Mexican style cider. So they used my grandma's flavored recipes of hibiscus juice and tamarind juice, and that's where they kind of came up with the idea of including just regular apple cider and creating the tamarind and the hibiscus hard cider. Our most popular is our hibiscus, and we actually came up with a seasonal flavor, which is now all year round, luckily, and that is guava. So
yeah,
That's what's in the box right now. People have that and are drinking that, and some people are saying they love it.
Yes, it's really tasty. We also have social media. We have our Facebook page and Instagram page. So if you guys would like to go ahead and follow, you could go ahead. We've been trying to post more often to keep up with it, but it's very hard to keep up with it. Yeah, it's been super busy.
It's a busy time, yeah. And how long, will you remind me how long you've been open?
I think 2017, so about almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not very long, but our tap room itself actually opened in July this year. So we were just making our own cider and just in stores and bars before we had our own place, but we officially got our own place in July.
That's exciting. I was thinking that was a newer addition, the location, and I've been hearing I haven't been down to visit yet, but I've been hearing what a fantastic community hub it's becoming, which is really amazing. The flavors you guys are creating are really not kind of the standards that people have seen in cider making. So it's exciting to create a wider array of different flavors, and then also to cultivate that community experience in person.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great atmosphere that we have, especially being connected to Azul's. They worry about all the food, and the food is delicious. And so the combination of cider and tacos is awesome.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite cider? I know you can't always choose one because they're all kind of really special, but is there one that you're really liking right now?
I don't know the official name, but there's one with pineapples in it, and it is delicious. It's like pineapples and chicken. And it's so good, and they also have really good gorditas, and those are really tasty.
Tacos. Yeah, I was asking about the cider, but yes, I also want a taco.
I thought you were talking. I'm sorry. My favorite cider of ours is our tamarind.
Yeah, that's
definitely my favorite. We also have our mixed drinks here, cideritas, which is going to be hard alcohol mixed with our cider. So cideritas is tequila in our cider. We have cider whiskey, cider Hennessy, cider mojitos, which I was going to make for you guys today, but it's just too crazy in there right now. And loud, so.
That's fair. That's great. You do have a question about outdoor seating. Do you have outdoor seating now?
Yes, we do. We have some side tables and sidewalk. We kind of close off part of the street where we have some tables right there too. So yes, we do. And you could sit on either side of Azul's or outside. Yeah.
So good. And it sounds like you've got some fans in California who ordered this box. You were a deciding factor to get the guava. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
good shout out.
A lot of requests. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you for taking time out in the middle of your busy evening. We know it's a Saturday night and it's a time where you're trying to get in as much business as we can and do it safely. Really appreciate you doing that. And thank you for bringing really extraordinary new flavors to the profile. It's great to see cider grow this way. Thank you.
Thank you guys all for the support.
Yeah. Awesome. We're gonna move over if we're ready. Unless there's anything, are you good? You're gonna go back in and help people.
Yeah, I probably have to, but it was great talking to you guys. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of this. Sorry, it's a
Great
little
to talk to you too, Jazz.
Yeah, it's
thank you.
A little bit, but yeah, thank you guys.
Same. I hear you. Thank you, Jazz. Okay, so some of you are familiar with Bauman's in Jervis, Oregon, and we've got Bobby from
from Bauman's today. Bobby, you said you're filling in as Christine, but you're definitely not Christine. You're your own fantastic human, and you are a cider maker at Bauman Cidery. This is really exciting. Thank you for tuning in with us. Nice to see you. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me. It's good to see y'all, and so glad that people are coming together to hang out, even if it is in this weird computerized fashion. Yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, I was a little bit of a last minute fill in here, but happy to be doing it. I believe y'all have the Muscadet de Dieppe single varietal in your
We're glad you're
tasting kit. That's kind of one of our more specialty items that we're thrilled to be making. That's, yeah, like Jana said, we're on a farm down in Jervis, Oregon, broadcasting from my kitchen in Portland right now. But yeah, down in Jervis, Christine's the owner of Bauman Cider. Her family's been operating a farm there since 1895, and they've, for I couldn't tell you how long, have been pressing apples every fall, with making that that juice that Mark was talking about earlier that comes in the plastic jugs. And several years ago, Christine started going to her family saying, hey, we need to be fermenting this. I think this cider thing might take off. And they said, go for it. So she started making cider, got rolling with that, and it's launched officially in 2016. And I've had the pleasure of kind of being on her team since 2018. And yeah, the Muscadet de Dieppe is actually a French apple from the Normandy region. It's a bittersweet apple that I don't know. I'd love to know what Mark thinks about it being a single varietal. But we loved the idea of exposing people to just, this is what one bittersweet apple can taste like, and the complexity you can get out of that. So yeah, that's that one. If you're looking to try it out, you can find it definitely on our online store. Certainly take a look at your local bottle shops if you're in the Portland metro area and most of Oregon at this point. And we're dabbling into Washington a little bit, but still primarily in the I-5 corridor of Oregon. Yeah, and I wasn't incredibly prepared for the talent show portion of this.
We're all good. We hung out with baby goats together virtually already, so I mean,
yeah.
Let's just ask Mark, do you want to chime in on the single varietal here? Or no? It's up to you. I feel like he's contemplating it.
It's middle of the night.
Okay,
We caught him off guard.
let's move on. I have to take, yeah, well, it's like 4 in the morning. So I just have to take a moment and pause because it's fall. And that means pumpkin patch season. So it's a weird year. A lot of things are not in their normal alignment in the universe, but the Jervis farm, Bauman's farm in Jervis, Oregon is the destination for fall, for all things fall and pumpkin. Can you give us a quick 411 on, like, are things happening? Are they not happening? Can people go there or not go there? Is it a truncated version? Do you want to tell us to go to the website? Tell us what you know, Bobby.
Yeah, no, please come down, come hang out with us. It is, if you've come in the past, it is definitely a scaled back version of that. We don't have the apple cannon going, but there is a corn maze, there's the pumpkin patch. The petting zoo is always there for you to come meet all the baby goats. Yeah, and of course, plenty of places to buy and drink some cider as you explore as well. Yeah, and for a little piece about me, here's a pumpkin that came out of my garden.
Is that still happening? Oh, you're a pumpkin farmer. That's a decent sized one. Good job.
Yeah, it's going to be pie tomorrow.
Nice. Okay. Many talents. Never underestimate these cider makers. Bobby, that's super fun. I'm glad that you're making cider with Christine. Thank you for helping to continue to push the needle forward. You guys made a lot of really cool cider cocktail profiles this last summer and bottled them up. A lot of those were small run. Those were super cool. And I know that you're going to keep making innovative, amazing things. Thank you for kind of representing here tonight. Next time we'll expect a craft, and so maybe you can send us back a video of you making the pumpkin pie, right? Like, or pumpkin, what is pumpkin soup, or what will it be?
I'm thinking it's gonna be pie tomorrow. Yeah, we've done a soup already. I don't know. There's a few more to go through. So.
Okay. Yeah. Good. All right. Well, I like. Great. People should check the website for Bauman's to make sure that they're traveling safely. And I'll just reiterate that for any of these places, any of our cider friends who are open, they want you to come visit as they're able to safely interview you and welcome you. Definitely 100% check a website, make a phone call. It's a good time just to double check things and make sure that everything is kind of above board and that you're doing. But thank you for keeping the good work on, and thanks for showing up here tonight and hanging out with us, making it more of the cider fest kind of miss and are trying to relive virtually. It's great.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And thanks everybody for tuning in.
And without yes, so good. All right, I know that we have Colin from Bull Run. Let me find you, Colin. There you are. How's it going?
Hello.
How are you doing, my friend?
It's going all right tonight. Yeah. Having a good evening. Thank you guys for
yeah, you started out joining us from the tap room where you were welcoming people, and now you've made the full journey. Catch us up. How's your day going? What's going on at Run? Tell us some things.
Yeah, so just finished up on my 3 to 6 p.m. shift at the Bull Run tasting room out in Forest Grove, out almost to the coastal range in Oregon here, and just made the drive back to Tigard. And yeah, I'm home. I'm in my shed, if you can't tell from all the random junk here in the shed with me, but trying to get the best lighting, trying to get everything ready because I got my 2 and my 5-year-old in the house, and I'm sure if I brought this inside, they would be on this video with me, but I'm trying to keep it professional.
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of us get.
Yeah, the kiddos is a real deal aspect of being in the cider game, and it's just part of life these days with COVID for sure. So we had a really good day. Our tasting room has been open out in Forest Grove since June, basically. Partially because of the COVID situation. We just wanted to make sure that we had a direct connection to our customer base, which has been proving to be a really good move. We've had lots of people showing up every weekend, even with the limited hours that we have. And we always like sitting people down, walking them through our ciders, tasting them through both Bull Run cider and 7 Seed cider, which is a passion project of ours that we also create. And we're just really kind of figuring out how to navigate this unique world right now. But the cider that you guys have in front of you tonight, if you're tasting along with us in the virtual world, is our brand new barrel-aged Jonah Gold single varietal. And that cider is a point of pride for us. We spent 2.5 years aging that cider on neutral oak barrels, and it's definitely a very oaky cider with nice apple character. The Jonah Gold is kind of a unique hybrid. You got Jonathan and Golden Delicious. It builds out a lot of nice kind of like fruity mid palate and a lot of good flavor profile. But in this cider, it's nice. There's a lot of complexity, but definitely a woody oaky cider, which is kind of what we were going for. And we're excited that you guys are getting a chance to taste it because you're the first ones to get the chance to do so. So yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, one of the fun things with Bull Run is we've been changing a lot. A lot of people have been asking me what's been going on with us. The last couple of years have been kind of a transitional period for us, and we're trying to get back to our roots. I joined up with the Bull Run team about 2 years ago. Galen Williams is our master cider maker, and he's been doing this for a long time. You were mentioning the Two Towns 10-year anniversary. We're about to celebrate our 10-year anniversary as well, and we're very excited about that. And it's fantastic, man. We've started to really get some good quality fruit from our orchard in the last couple of years, and that's been helping us make even finer cider because you know, it's all about the trees, as Tom Oliver says. We are very excited that we're able to, you know, get the high quality fruit that we need, and some of the specifically cider fruit that is not always the easiest to find. We're very blessed that we have our hands on a lot of it right now, and you're going to see a lot of nice Orchard Club and exclusive orchard-based ciders released from both Bull Run Cider as well as Seven Seeds, our Celtic concept cider brand that we make under the same umbrella. And it's all of those will be coming out here between November and the end of the year. And we're very excited. We have the Barrel Aged Jonah Gold, that's the first release, and then we also have a Baldwin single varietal. We're going to release our Estate Perry as well as our Watershed Perry, all made with proper Perry pears that we grew on our own orchard. Very small batch, probably 20 cases of each. And we're going to be releasing our newest, our estate actually from last year, the 2019 here really soon. So we're very excited about it, and we're continuing to move forward in the market. And it's a good time.
You got a shout out. Thanks, love it. My favorite. Yes, thank you. That's good. I also, Colin, while I've got you on the line here, I just thought, let's talk for just a second about single varietals. I mean, it may be that many folks on the line are really already hip to that, but I kind of just think it's a really cool thing that, you know, if you're newer to cider, or if you're, you know, just like, what's the difference of single varietal versus like another cider? Like, because we're tossing it around, but I feel like it could bear a little definition. Do you want to just take a stab at that?
Yeah, so single varietal, essentially focusing on one varietal of fruit. So with like our Jonah Gold, the only cider, or the only fruit in that cider is the Jonah Gold. With our Baldwin single varietal, it is just the Baldwin apples. So we're basically pressing those individual fruits that we, you know, will gather, and we'll put them in the bin. We'll press them through, ferment them individually. Sometimes, as cider makers do, we'll choose to blend them into other estate blends or certain styles that we'll do. But sometimes the single varietals stand enough on their own, and we have enough quantity of it that we decide that it warrants being put in its own bottle individually, so you can get a really good understanding of that individual apple and the qualities and the flavor profiles that it presents. It's nice because it's kind of like it's giving it some purity, some cleanliness from the aspect of it's just that one apple. So there's a lot of brands doing that in the market now, and I've kind of been excited through this COVID process to see way more brands focusing on the fruit and the apples and the pears themselves, and trying to, you know, essentially promote the concepts of orcharding in tandem with cider making, which is something that I'm excited to see that evolution in our market currently.
Cool. Thanks for kind of hitting that. So I'll encourage folks to take a look at Bull Run site so that they can check in and see what your open hours are and make sure that it's a good time to visit you. And then comment also, it sounds like, join your club so they can get access to the really limited stuff.
Yeah, so Bull Run Cider. So our tasting room is open every Friday and Saturday, 3 to 6 p.m. I'm about to add some Thursday hours. I've had some good news on my personal side where my wife got a job during COVID, which is almost impossible to do, but she got one. And now I have the ability to open up the tasting room on Thursdays. So Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays moving forward. Fridays and Saturdays definitely 3 to 6 p.m. Swing by, get a taster tray. I'd love to walk you through our ciders. And we have a lot of really beautiful. Forest Grove is kind of a cool community. they have a mix of wineries like David Hill. We also have Sake One out there. You also have our tasting room, and then you have a lot of local breweries like Ridgewalker, and we also have another local cidery like Helvetia, not too far down the road. So there's a lot of good opportunity for people that want to take a trip out to a beautiful small agricultural-based town in the almost to the coastal range in Oregon, and we'd love to have you guys come out for sure. So yeah, 3 to 6 p.m. And then our Orchard Club. That's been launched now since June, but we kind of soft launched it. Most of the people in our club are like friends of mine and personal, like people that just are really into Bull Run cider, and we've been developing it, and we're about to finally launch it for real here at November 1st. There'll be a couple different levels. We're going definitely the wine kind of route with, you know, be included in our club. We will curate and handpick certain ciders for you that no one else is going to be able to taste. Only Orchard Club members, and with that, there's some perks that come along with being able to join in tastings at the tasting room and whatnot. You know, is included in your membership. So there's a lot of good opportunities. And one other thing to let people around the country know is we just started shipping via Vino Shipper, which I know a lot of other cideries here on this virtual tasting are doing. And so now we can officially ship to 40 states around the country. So we'd love to ship some cider to your front door. Just check us out at bullruncider.com, and we'll be the guy literally packing those up for you and sending them out the door.
Perfect. Thank you, Colin. Go ahead and put it in the chat so that folks can follow up.
Yeah.
Speaking of going places in our region, thank you, and we are going to visit Sean. He is in this like really cool, well-lit environment at Wildcraft. If you don't know Wildcraft, you should. Sean is I'm going to call you a maverick, Sean. Is that okay? You got to unmute yourself, I think. You're going to have to pop up here and do that. Sean has been preparing some really cool stuff for you guys. He's a cider maker who creates a lot of really amazing ciders, a lot of like small batch, locally sourced, super geeky things. And that's not all. Just like you've been starting to learn a number of our different cider makers across our calls tonight, there's many people in our community who have many talents. They're not one-dimensional craft makers, and I think Sean really exemplifies that. Hey, Sean.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can totally hear you.
I'm familiar with Zoom. I'm also familiar that it cuts in and out. This is
as I've demonstrated, I think. Wow. We've got a video that we can play for you when you are ready, but do you want to maybe set it up and say hi to us for a moment? Because I think that you're the best person.
For sure. Hey, by the way, it's good to see you, Colin, if you're still on there. I know you were cutting in and out. I also wanted to say shout out to Mark. I speak French. That's my second language. And I really like the jokes that the French come up with. Like jokes like my parents are still in prison stuff, you know? I like that.
It's good, huh?
But anyway, yeah, so at Wildcraft, what we've done for the last 6 years is collectively foraged wild apples in the Willamette Valley. This started out of a resource management project that was larger than that. But the idea is that it's all artist collective. We are artist collectives. You know, those that pick apples or grow apples are musicians, are familiar with how to actually hand craft something. Of course, when it comes to me, I can't see anybody.
If you've got your camera and if there's something you wanting to show us, I think you might want to put it down in just a tiny bit. Like, I don't know if you have something visually there. I think you do. Yeah. Okay. And we've got your video when you want it, so we can play that first when you cue us up to time.
I'm just experiencing technical difficulties. It's all good. But what I'm saying is that, you know, what we've done is naturally fermented 100% of our products. There's not a single cider ever released from Wildcraft that has a yeast that is pitched, that has any type of DME. There's not a product that has any malic acid, tartaric acid, or any other synthesized ingredients. What we do is we wild forage. We wild hunters. We're like wild Pacific Northwest hunters. And we've produced a culture down in the southern side of the Willamette Valley that shows the ingredients and the culture of growers, the culture of knowledge of what has transpired here for the last 100 years. And, you know, that's the process of Wildcraft. We're a very small batch. We're not looking to reach widespread. We service our community the best we can, especially during COVID, you know. No stress there. We all have to adapt. Please wear your mask. Take care of each other. Stay safe. Let's stay positive. But really, more than anything, it's all a matter of producing a high quality product, something that our children can savor, something that our children's children can remember. And that's why I really respect Mark when he came on here and he told that joke, like, my parents are still in prison. I'm like, that's not a joke. But I love that you laughed at it, Jana. Anyway, yeah, hey, play a video. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about design and marketing and how, you know, any cider maker should be able to produce stencils. Right?
All right. We're going to watch your video. You can keep talking.
So to cider make is also
tell us what we're going to see. Oh.
To make cider also means you are resourceful in the land. It means that you're able to take anything and make something out of it. Not with chemicals, not by outsourcing, but by truly putting your hands on something. By understanding the nature of your environment. You know, as cider makers, we have a unique opportunity to show the world what resource management looks like, what utilization looks like, how we can turn something that nobody would see as valuable into something almost unpurchasable, something that is extremely invaluable. Like you can't even put a number in it. What do I sell a bottle of cider that's made out of Wildcraft for? I don't know. I put it on the shelf just like everybody else does. But the fact is that the cider community has a unique opportunity to understand the big agricultural process and how it detriments our social responsibilities, how it affects the current shutdown that we have going on. And we all have a responsibility to produce something of high quality, something of high standard, and something that we can live our life by, and also give to our children, something that we can pass on familial, not including big corporations, not asking for bailouts, not asking for stimulus. Let's look at what we can put our hands on. And so I thought today it would be a nice gesture just to say, hey, let's take this Elmwood. This bottle is turned from elm of 3 different varieties, right? And Elmwood was used as a neutral barrel in France before they started using oak. Elmwood does not induce tannins. It does not give coloration. It does not give that dark complexion that you see in bourbon or the type of barrels that we're used to. Elmwood is very neutral. So a bottle made out of Elmwood will last you a lifetime, and you can store spirits inside of an Elmwood bottle for a lifetime. So what I thought we could do today, this bottle, anybody that's tuning in, this is called the Trinity. You can see that there is particulate inside of the bottle. That is natural. We have no filtration. There's no alternate means. The only ingredients in this bottle are quince, pear, and apples. And all quince, pears, and apples were wild foraged in a place that was not intended to grow them. We also have another bottle, which is a previous vintage. And then this here bottle will be a blend of spirits that will enter it, hand turned. In terms of the marketing side, a talent would be, why wouldn't we create a label for such bottle? We say we have a feeling about where the ingredients come from. Why would we not have a feeling about how to print the bottle? So anyway, we're gonna live print this. This is a really thick ink. This is actually, it comes from a company that makes natural pigments. It's a very, very, very thick ink, and it's necessary to print on wood. But in order to actually print the bottle, I have to print on something else. So I'm going to print on the bottom of a case. Whoever gets that case, man, they're lucky, because it's going right back into production. So I've just spread this real thick ink on here. I'm exposing the way that it looks. Removing as much ink as possible. The goal is to fill the hand cut stencil entirely. You want to lift the computer so they can see what's going on? So I'm filling this really thick ink inside of the stencil. Need a little bit more. Not much, just a little bit. Remember, not much, just a little bit. All right, so when I peel this, you have an exposure on the screen. Are you able to see that, Jana?
Yeah, it looks so cool.
It's an exposure on the screen.
Magnificent.
All right, so this wooden bottle, this is not the environment that I'm used to doing this in, but you've exposed the screen.
You're adaptive.
Here's this wooden bottle that took, 6 hours to create. It's raw, it's ready for ink, and you only get one shot at it. And that's the way I think about every single harvest that we have at Wildcraft. You only get one shot. So don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up. I think I start here. I think I start here. So this is one of a kind, and this will be filled with a blend of 4-year barrel-aged pear brandy that's been softened by 2018 Perry, 2017 Quince brandy, softened by 2018 quince, wild fermented quince wine, and a red-fleshed crab apple pommeau that is now 6 years old in its entirety. So yeah, let's remember to keep the craft. So through all this, see this little hit? It's a flat spot, right? Whoever auction this is going to go to live auction on our Instagram. Whoever gets it, that's their initials right there, and it's bottle 1 of 1. So let's remember to keep the craft always. Let's not overcomplicate our message as a cider community. Let's remember what cider is about. The cider is about history. The cider is about culture. Apples came here not because I agreed with how apples came here, but apples came here on the West Coast. And from those apples came the pear rootstock. And then pears came to the West Coast. From those pears came the quince rootstock. This is a wild fruit in our area, hence the name Wild Craft. That's what we do, and that's what we've been continuing to do and will continue to do at a nonstop level. So yeah, that's just like a little treat, you know? It's a little treat. It's got a little red blood.
Just a little treat.
And yeah, the red flesh, hopefully the red fleshed apples. Yeah, let's see if we can get a close up on that.
That's extraordinary. I actually have a list of, remember my list of adjectives? I could like throw them all out at you. Super, wonderful, terrific. That's dank. It's fly.
Dank. It's dank.
Amazeballs.
But so behind me is all brandy. That stack of barrels is all brandy. And it goes all the way down the line, right? You know, and I really appreciate the Scottish montage of saying that these ferments are for our children. It was not okay to drink scotch of your grandfather or of your own. It's okay to drink scotch of your grandfather's. It's not okay to drink scotch of your own. But if you came out heavier than your grandfather did, then you're sitting nice in the family, right? So just a little sense of wines and brandies.
You got a lot going on there, Sean.
Yeah.
Maverick, like I said, right?
Yeah, we go wild forest style though. There's no, I can't call an orchard to get my ingredients. We got to go get this.
So good. So tell us, we gotta make sure that we know, where are we gonna send folks to find that beautiful bottle? I heard that you are going to live auction it this evening. So if people want to get in on that, where can they find it?
Yeah, just go to the Instagram feed at Wildcraft Cider.
Okay, pop over to Instagram at Wildcraft, and you're going live with that at 8. Is that right?
Yep, we're gonna do a live auction at 8 for that bottle. And it is specifically the only bottle that has those ingredients in it ever. You don't want one. You don't
one handcrafted by you, as we saw in your video, now custom printed, filled with all of the gems.
Yep.
Good things. So good.
It's good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing some of your talents. I won't by any means say that they're all, but thank you for taking us down such an incredible journey. I was nervous as you put the print on, like, it's the one shot. So thanks for like creating such a sensory experience. I know that we have a lot of these conversations about what's going on in Zoom, and it's like, no, but we're still here in real, like we're feeling real things in real life, even though we're Zooming. So thanks for creating real feelings.
You know what's crazy though, is that my mom, you know, I don't want to get into anything negative right now because there's enough going on in the world. But, you know, my grandma, her mom just passed away. And so she's been in New Jersey a lot. And as you know, Janice, she's my main salesperson, my mom.
Yeah. She's great.
And she comes back with all this cider from Newark, New Jersey, right? And I didn't get a cider kit, so I'm drinking cider from. I'm like, they're making cider in Newark, New Jersey? Really? It's pretty good. The Ironbound. I don't know if you checked it out. She was really fired up. She was like, they were so nice. Everything was really good.
So good.
So that's what I was drinking the whole time. I don't know. It has some tartaric acid in it. It gives me a little bit of a heartburn, you know. But other than that, the profile was really balanced, you know.
It's fantastic. Thank you, Sean. I'm going to re-encourage. I see that someone put it into the chat. Thank you. I'm going to really encourage people to hop over to your and bid on this fantastic experience, this one-of-a-kind custom bottle. There will not be another version of this. You obviously can like palpably like feel Sean's passion. The cider makers that we've found tonight are exquisite. Where they have other work to do. It's harvest, and they've stepped aside to be present and, you know, navigate this new world with us.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the cider makers. I want to say thank you to, yeah, go ahead.
I just want to close out and say, Colin, I miss you. Christine, you weren't there. Where you at? Gemma, I saw you for a second. Mark, I appreciate your story. That was really wonderful. And let's keep camaraderie and keep passion through this time and stay positive together, man. Let's keep this going. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Jana, love you.
Can do.
Mm-hmm.
Right back at you.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Alan, do you want to say any last words? But then before we kind of close out, I'm just going to like rattle off the thank yous. Like, thank you to the cider lovers. Thank you to the cider drinkers. Thanks to the people who came through Portland and picked up, and the people who shipped. And thanks to Alan. Thanks to Alan. Thanks to Alan. Okay.
That's other than the 4 thank yous to me, that's definitely part of what I was going to say. And thanks to you, Jana, for all that you do to make this come together. And I also want to add to the thank you list. I know some of you are joining us from other parts of the country, and that happens because of our friend Chris at Press and Press, who joined the team a couple of festivals ago to work with us to get cider shipped around the country. And that was just a really exciting addition to what we do. I know there was some people from Albuquerque that sent Chris a picture earlier. And to bring Northwest Cider to the rest of the country has been a great add-on to what we do with this. We, you know, when our team started Cider Summit in 2010, we really wanted to build awareness for regional cider, better cider, you know, stuff beyond what you had seen in the marketplace before that. And kind of the big bonus is the community that comes along with it. It's a unique, diverse group and a lot of fun. And I think that's, you know, one of the bonus fun things about when we do our festivals is that it's so rare that so many of us can get together and share that time. And I think we all really enjoy that. And hopefully those of you attending the virtual event got a little sense of that. Couple other reminders to vote, and while you're waiting for results, you can squeeze your Cider Summit stress balls. Right? I know I just got my ballot in the mail. I think it was yesterday. I'm not sure where they're everywhere else. And then the other announcement is in a couple of days we are going to go live with our final festival to go kit for the year. That's going to be a Washington-based one. And that should be live probably by Tuesday. And we're going to do a couple of different things with that. We are going to kind of combine what we did this time with modern and bottled classic and do kind of 4 of each in one kit we're calling Harvest and Holiday Kit. And then for the first time, we're going to do another kit that is going to be featuring Pomo and dessert cider. And so some real rarities that are hard to get even here in the Northwest, let alone around the country. So again, please drop by our site, or most of the time the freshest info is at our Facebook page at Cider Summit. And that's our Instagram and Twitter handles as well. We're gonna have a chocolate add-on option from Theo's Chocolate in Seattle for that one as well. And they've got some Washington chocolate caramels with cider, cherry, lavender, and coffee that are going to be part of the next kit. So you'll be able to add on just like you were able to with Moonstruck this time. And I just, again, thanks to all of you for participating in the event. We would love to have, 3,000 of you in the park and doing our thing and listening to great music and taking in great scenery. And but just not possible this year. We hope it's going to be possible next June for Cider Summit Portland. Obviously, no one really knows yet if that's possible, but we're going to keep throwing shit against the wall and find out what all of you out there enjoy most, and hopefully getting more good cider to more good people and more good locations. So that's it for me. Thanks, Jana. Go ahead and close it out with anything else you want to add, and our music to play us out. And thanks again, everyone, for being a part of Cider Summit.
Thank you so much,
Alan. Thank you, Alan. Yeah, you guys, thank you all. It's been so fun. And I'll just say, Northwest Cider Makers have been really hustling, and we're going to launch a cider club for them. So if you want to keep drinking more Northwest cider, NW Cider Club, I know we put it in the chat. We're also going to continue shipping cider out to people. So take a look for it. It's going live momentarily. A lot of these makers are Northwest based, not all of them. Thank you, Mark, for joining in, and any other of our international partners, but please do keep an eye out for that and join us. Thanks, you guys. We're going to go out with Ellen, Whyte, and Jean and Jean. Thank you, MJ, for being our amazing technical backup. I do apologize for the real life experience of Wi-Fi, etc. Thanks for bearing with us and for being here. We absolutely appreciate you. It means the world that you took your time out to hang out with us. Hope you had some fun. How about a final cheers on the way out? Cheers, y'all. Take care.
If you should ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. I've been your jury. Admonitor too. That ain't all I do for you. Bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, you know I'll be your slave till I'm dead and buried in my grave. Oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Jacob and the ladder, he was climbing to the sky.